Raise your hand if you remember doing these fraction of problems now. Okay, perfect. It's a little more familiar now that you've seen it. On pages 193 and 194, we practiced finding fractions of using coins. On page 194, if you recall, we found fractions of whole numbers, and there were 2 steps to this. Raise your hand if you wrote down those 2 steps in your math notebook. I want you to take out your math notebook and look for that real quick because I believe that most of you wrote that down. Take out your math notebook. There were 2 steps that we used to solve fraction of problems. Raise your hand when you found it. Holly? Holly, will you read us the first step? Read us the first step.
Divide the whole by
The bottom number. Okay, so the first step is to divide the whole by the denominator or the bottom number. What was the second step? Somebody else who found it. Shelby?
multiply the numerator.
Multiply your answer from the division problem by the numerator. Exactly. So these problems are pretty easy. It's 2 steps. Divide the whole number by the denominator. Multiply your answer times the numerator. So that's what we're going to be practicing today. I am going to give each of your table groups some materials to work with, and I want you to use different strategies to solve these fraction of problems. So I'm going to give you some manipulators, I'm going to give you some pattern blocks, and I'm going to give you some scratch paper. And as a group, I want you to figure out how to solve these fractions of problems. So you can use the 2-step strategy, or you can use the materials that I give you to figure out the fraction of problems. But I want you to work in a group, and I'm going to kind of circulate and listen to your conversations, and then we'll come back together as a class and discuss what you've done. Any questions? All right. Okay. So what did you suggest to do?
I suggested to put 24 into 3 groups.
Okay. So Patrick suggested to divide 24 into 3 groups. Looking at the problem, why do you think he did that?
Because 24 divided by
Okay. Where did he get the 24 from, Alex? What is 24 in your problem? What is it, Shelby? It's the whole. And where did he get the 8, Alex? Or, I'm sorry, 3. Do you remember what the bottom number is called in a fraction? What's it called? Yeah, the denominator. Okay, so he said 24s are whole and 3s are denominator, so why did he divide 24 into 3 groups? So he took 24 of these little cubes and then separated them into 3 groups. Okay?
So 24 divided by 3 equals 8.
Equals 8. And then we take our answer, and like Shelby said, we multiply it times the numerator, but we don't necessarily have to do that in this case, because once our blocks are divided into 3 groups, we just want to know what is 1/3 of 24. So what does 1 group out of 3 equal? Shelby? 8. There you go. So that's how we would use the pattern blocks.
Yep.
Good job, guys. Keep going.
Alright. It's Alex.
Okay. Let's move over here. Can you guys tell me how you solved your problems?
We use the fraction of problems.
Fraction of problems? Okay, so tell me the first step that you did.
For the first one we did 24 divided by 3 because that 3 is the denominator.
Okay.
And then we times
Come over and show you how they use the pattern blocks. But keep discussing how you might be able to use these to solve the fraction of problems. Okay. All right. So, boys and girls, let's talk about how you used the pattern blocks to solve the fraction of problems. What did you use here, Grace?
Okay.
So we just did.
What's your whole here? In the first problem, 24. Okay, so could we somehow make 24 out of these?
No, you already tried it.
You didn't have enough blocks?
Yeah, we
That's
just
okay.
need one more.
That's why I tried to ask. You needed one more what?
Of these.
Hexagon? Okay, I'll be right back. I'll bring you one more hexagon.
Yeah. But we have to get 56 hexagons. How we can do it? We have to get 56 hexagons. How we can do it?
Okay, well, we'll just work on this part first. Okay, so here are your hexagons. Now show me what you would do.
Okay, so we have 44 holes.
Okay.
And B divided by 24 equals 8. B divided by the third, like the numerator, it would equal 8.
Okay. So Henry, why don't you come around here, bud, where you can see. Here. Okay. What Grace, will you explain what you just told me to Henry?
If the 24 is a whole, and if you're dividing it by the denominator,
That's okay. It's a tough word to say.
It's 24 divided by 3 would be 8, and if you divide the numerator,
Okay.
it would equal 8, because 8 times 1 equals 8.
Can you show me using the pattern block how you would do that? Okay, why don't you come around by Grace and show me how you would do that using the pattern block? Okay, so can you guys share with me what's going on over here?
Sure.
Okay.
I put 48 could fit into 8 could fit into 48 6 times, and then 6 times 3 equals 18.
Okay.
And 44 is 18 for our answer. 48. All right.
Perfect. Shelby, you want to show me how you use the pattern blocks to solve one of these? Okay, can you show me with using your pattern blocks how you did that? Okay, boys and girls, you've all done an excellent job. I know some of the groups have been having trouble figuring out how they would use their pattern blocks or their base 10 blocks to solve these problems. So now what we're going to do is step 2, and I'm going to have the groups that did figure it out move over to the groups that are still having a little trouble, and I want you to help me remind me. So raise your hand if you figured out how to use or to solve these problems using the base 10 blocks. The base 10 blocks. Okay, your group did? Excellent. This group over here, do you need a little help?
Yes.
All right, do I have a volunteer from this group or this group that will go over and show them? Okay. Patrick, since you were explaining it to your group, would you mind going over there? It would really be helpful. Why don't you go over there and start explaining it to them what you did, and Shelby, you can go with them. That way there's 2 of you. Okay. What about using the pattern blocks? Raise your hand if you understood that. Henry? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to combine groups, all the groups. So Grace, Henry, and Jesse, come over here, and you're going to work with Mitchell, Bree, and Twins group. Bring your papers. And then Derek, Abby, and Jack come over here. You're also working with these two. Discuss what you did.
Yeah. We use the multiplication facts to help us find out what the base of 48 divided by 8 is.
Did anyone here figure out how to use the pattern blocks to solve your problems? Okay, so once we discuss this, I'll show you what we could do. In the first problem, what was your whole? 24. Is there any way to make 24 using these pattern blocks?
Yeah.
What can we do, Quinn? Are there enough of any of these shapes to make 24? Which ones? Ready? Which shape? Triangles? Okay, so let's count out 24 triangles. Go ahead and do that as a group. 24 triangles.
I'll show you something on this one. 56. 40 times 8. 7 times 7 equals 49. So that would be 49. 7 times 7 is 49. Here's an extra.
Okay, so now that you have girls want to come over here and help them too. I know it's kind of crowded. You have 24 here? Okay, perfect. So now they have 24 pattern blocks counted out. How could we find 1/3 of 24, Bree, using these pattern blocks? How could we do that? Oh, did you hear what Mitchell said? He said we divide them equally into 3 groups. So why don't you go ahead and work as a group to do that? Divide them equally into 3 groups.
1, 3, 2, 4. Alright, this is one.
So are your groups even now? So how would we figure out what 1 out of 3 groups is? 8? Is that the same answer you got from doing the two-step method? Awesome. So now what I want you to do, now that you understand, use these pattern blocks to solve for the rest of your problems and make sure that your answers match. Okay? Go ahead and work together.
Okay, take 12 out of 24.